Good afternoon. Welcome to the Chris Salcedo Show here on Newsmax. Joe Biden, his socialists in the Democrat Party, and the Democrats in the biased press are busy pushing propaganda to hide punishing policies. Say that 3 times fast. The bad news is the propaganda is all the Democrats are good for, and it's hurting our nation and our people. The good news is the Democrats can't hide the damage they're doing to us. Democrats and other D words that describe them. That's our focus in today's preamble. For the purposes of our discussion today, the word Democrat will be synonymous with some other words that begin with D. Those words are death, debauchery, deviancy, deception, and destruction. There are plenty more D words that reflect the damage. Well, there's another D word. There are other words that reflect the damage being done by Democrats. But if I listed them all, then we'd have to have a 3-hour program here. I can say all Democrats have these universal values of death, debauchery, deviancy, and deception because they opened the door for me to do so. They are the ones sowing permanent division in the United States. Here's what Joe Biden said of at least 75 million Americans. Quote, "What we're seeing now is either the beginning of the death or the death knell of an extreme MAGA philosophy. It's not just Trump. It's the entire philosophy that underpins the, I'm going to say something. It's semi-fascism," end quote. Joe Biden's new brain, echoing the sentiments of the Obama meat puppet from the White House podium.
Look, I was very clear when laying out and defining what MAGA Republicans have done, and you look at the definition of fascism, and you think about what they're doing in attacking our democracy.
Yes, those pesky Make America Great Republicans with their standing up for the rule of law, belief in limited constitutional government, freedom and prosperity. It just screams fascist, doesn't it? But in truth, folks, I don't think fascist means what Biden's new brain there thinks it means. Webster's dictionary says fascism is a political philosophy, movement, or regime that exalts nation and often race above the individual and that stands for a centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader, severe economic and social regimentation, and forcible suppression of opposition. Let's see. Racism.
At any given time, there's tens of thousands of Pennsylvanians who typically are on the poorer side and are people of color that are less likely to have their ID at any one given time.
To hear you talk about the reputations of 2 United States senators who built their reputations and career on the segregation of race in this country. And it was not only that, but you also worked with them to oppose busing.
Wealthy kids, black kids, Asian kids. No, I really mean it, but think how we think about it.
You cannot go to a 7-Eleven or a Dunkin' Donuts unless you have a slight Indian accent. I'm not joking.
It hurts my heart, Mr. Speaker, to see the Judiciary Committee hearing experts on the topic of impeachment. Hearing experts, Mr. Speaker, and not one person of color among the experts.
Here you go, Mexican racist. You're always going to be a Mexican. You'll never be white. You know that, right?
If you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, and you ain't black.
Yeah, okay, I guess we can check that Democrat racism box. What about the centralized autocratic government headed by a dictatorial leader? Joe Biden, Obama, they fit that, right? Well, the Democrats, over the past 4 years, have passed legislation that exclusively grows and empowers government to lord over your life. From the massive spending to attempting to centralize control of the vote in Washington, to the weaponizing of the DOJ and FBI, to 87,000 new armed IRS agents. Yep, that about covers that. What about the severe economic and social regimentation and forcible suppression of opposition? On that note, not only is Joe Biden targeting his political opposition using government the same way Xi Jinping is doing, but before Biden declared his political opponents fascist, he also declared them his enemies.
I know where I stand. I will not yield. I will not flinch. I will defend the right to vote, our democracy against all enemies, foreign and, yes, domestic.
Okay, so that would seem that it's the Democrats who are actually the real fascists in all this, right? That just about covers, what, deception and dangerous D words. What about deception?
Folks, when it comes to fighting crime, we know it works. I'm determined to ban assault weapons in this country. Determined.
This is a classic Democrat strategy. Take over, then you ruin the country, then you campaign on fixing everything that you've ruined. Joe Biden claims that Democrats know how crime works and how to solve crime. Well, then why aren't they doing it? Crime is out of control all over this country, from the border to every blue city and state in America. You got drugs, you got sex slaves, you got guns, you got illegal aliens over the border. Illegal aliens, many of them infected with the China virus. Biden and his socialists in the Democrat Party are facilitating that. They're not stopping that crime. Violent crime is surging in the United States, but do Democrats target criminals? Oh, no. Instead, Soros-funded DAs unleash criminals onto the streets, and Biden blames law-abiding gun owners instead. You know, it is a big lie. It's the big lie that your Second Amendment right of self-defense is causing violent crime. It's every bit the lie that the term assault weapon is. Joe Biden's own ATF nominee couldn't define this term. The reason? It's as real as unicorn poop. There are no assault weapons that are available for civilian use in the United States. Joe Biden and his socialists in the Democrat Party like this definition to be undefined because their real target is removing all firearms from the hands of you law-abiding citizens. Simply put, the Democrats are busy cranking up the crime while simultaneously trying to prevent you from defending yourself from their crime. The last D word is deviancy. Through GovEd, the biased press, and the socialists in the Democrat Party, morality, decency, and faith have been under attack in the United States. The fake Catholic Joe Biden is jonesing to force Americans of faith to pay for the slaughter of children in the womb. 66 million babies have perished at the hands of this socialist Democrat policy. Certain death by, well, any description. Inside of government ed, deviants push racism through critical race theory. They push cultural Marxism through the LGBTQ ABCDEFG agenda. Children are being encouraged to change their sex while keeping parents in the dark about this sick and disgraceful push for deviancy, with disgraceful and extreme harm being done to our kids. Now we're seeing the fruits of the Democrats' deviancy. Children like Chloe Cole, who was 15 years old when she agreed to so-called gender-affirming surgery. These children are now starting to come forward. Zealots removed Chloe's healthy breasts, a life-altering decision she now deeply regrets. She blames those zealots in the medical community and in GovEd for pushing this destructive agenda on her young and impressionable mind. The socialists in the Democrat Party call us enemies. They call us fascists and extremists. They do this because they are guilty of the very things they accuse us of being and doing. It's all an effort to sow division, discredit their political opposition, and divert attention from all the harm Democrats are doing to the United States. Democrats haven't done one thing right since taking over all of government. Your job is to organize voting blocks, spread the facts, and make sure the Democrats pay a heavy price for violating the law, their oath, and the American Compact, the Constitution. It's essential you do this because if you don't, the GOP leadership certainly won't. The weaponizing of the DOJ and FBI while Mitch McConnell and Kevin McCarthy slept is evidence of that.